So many of my relationships in my life, my family, friends, romantic relationships, I get so, I guess I'm having a hard time getting the question out. That when something goes wrong, either a friendship dissolves or a relationship or something goes...
When a friendship serves its purpose, when all that I was asking for it has come, is it a failure to move on?
Well, it's
That's like going on vacation and just showing up in the first town and saying, I guess I'll stay here. I guess I'll stay here. Only one restaurant. One little motel with fleas in the bed, but...
But why is it so painful when those things happen? It takes so much out of me when...
We think it's because you're looking at it in a way that your inner being doesn't. Remember, painful always means your opinion and the opinion of your inner being about the same subject aren't jiving. So give us a few sentences of what your pain is about. Focus on something specific and then tell us what's painful about it. I failed at this. Your inner being isn't agreeing, and so the feeling of negative emotion is because your inner being knows you didn't fail. I've lost something. Feels terrible because you're looking at something with such a flawed premise, because your inner being knows that nothing is lost.
So it's not because I'm not loving myself enough?
Well, that's the cliche, isn't it? But the reality of it is you're not letting enough of yourself in this moment. That would be another way of saying it. You're not looking at yourself as your inner being is looking at you. Can you find something more specific? You don't have to talk about it in detail, but hold something specific in your mind and then speak those things, and let us show you how your inner being is operating from a different premise than you are when you feel that discomfort.
I miss you. I'm not going to be able to be with you and hang out with you anymore. I don't...
Esther went to a graduation of her granddaughter, and it's junior high going into high school. And it's a small school, and there are 18 students, and they have fallen in love with each other. And the faculty and the teachers who were talking about this graduating class said they'd never seen a class of such harmony. And so they're really enjoying each other, but they are not. During the process of this graduation ceremony that Esther is watching, none of them are displaying any tears. She can feel from each one of them, all 18 of them spoke for a little bit, and Esther sat back and enjoyed the auras that she saw spouting out of each of them. And Esther thought, these kids are not sad about moving on, even though they're leaving a small school and they're going to several different schools. Hardly any of them will be in the same school. So they've found this incredible bonding with one another. And they're not breaking up because they don't like each other. There have never been 18 kids that appreciated one another more than these 18 kids. But each of them are eagerly moving on to what's next. It was such a beautiful thing to see. Now their parents are wanting to make more of it. Their parents are thinking, oh, you're never going to see each other again. Their parents are doing all that drama stuff to it. But the kids have more eagerness about where they're going than sadness about what they're leaving behind. They're still reaching for more. And so maybe as you move through time, you sort of lose that sense of what you're reaching for, and you spend more time looking back at what you're leaving behind. But we promise you, when you get ready to leave this gathering, not one of you is going to stand in that doorway and look longingly back at this room. You're going to go have lunch. You're going to get into your transportation and you're going to be on to what's next. And if you're longingly looking back, you're dysfunctional. Because there's always more, always more, always more, always more, always more. And so you can look with appreciation at what has been because it has brought you to where you are. And you can feel eagerness about where you're going, you see. But nothing has gone wrong. You are where you are, and now there's something more. And no matter what happened, you are more for it having happened. And your inner being is exhilarated about it having happened, and is taking the new you now to the next new you place. You see what we're getting at? That's helpful, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Enough?
Yes.
Really good.
Thank you.
we've been considering changing homes. We've paid for ours, and we're going to sell it and move more out of the city. We're both retired. We want to get away from the hustle and bustle in the city, and we want to move up a little farther north.
So just now, you did some daydreaming that's helpful and some daydreaming that isn't.
Yeah.
Esther's begun calling it, am I daydreaming or nightmaring? Because sometimes she'll find herself on a train of thought and it gets a little bigger, and suddenly she'll think to herself, what in the world am I doing? And so when you're thinking about what you want, that's helpful. When you're trying to get out of the hustle and bustle of the city, that's not so helpful because it contradicts the vibration. Yeah?
Yeah, that's right.
So here's our question to you. And you really help us wrap this all up into a way that can be very helpful for everyone else. So, do you think that you are willing, capable? Do you think you're at the place where you could do this? Where you could just let the ideas come to you, dream it, and hold off on trying to make anything happen or take any action? Do you think you could do that?
I believe we could.
The reason we ask is because, and here's the distinction, if you've really got the hang of dreaming, then you're happy right where you are. And it just gets bigger and bigger until you can't help but move into an even more pleasing place. But if you don't have the hang of that, and you're trying to fix something that isn't quite right, then you keep dragging that other stuff into it and wanting to take action too soon. Can you feel the distinction? If what you're looking for is a better feeling place to live, then isn't what you're really looking for? It's just a better feeling place. So our question to you is, can you find the better feeling place without the urge to make a move right now to turn the better feeling place into something that is a reality that everyone else can see?
Oh, both of us are very pleased with the house we're in. Well, not very pleased, but it's we're looking for a better place, so we can't be very pleased.
But we really want to drive this point home in a way that you can really hear it. If you think about what it feels like to be in a really good feeling space, what comes most to your mind?
Oh, nature.
So start right there. Can you, because you're already in that vibration of alignment, can you let yourself receive non-resistant thoughts of that? Can you daydream around that and nothing other than that for a moment?
Oh, I more than daydream about that.
So describe that to us just for a moment.
Well, we live close to an open space.
We just want the daydream.
The daydream?
Nothing real or practical, just the daydream.
The daydream is to walk out my front door and I do a sunrise
Or maybe
ritual.
not even out of a door, just be out there.
Yeah,
just be out there. And what does that out there feel like?
Connection, alignment.
What does it smell like?
It feels like I'm amongst the creature teachers that show me the way.
Pure positive energy, surrounded by pure positive energy.
Positive
and what does
energy.
that feel like?
Bliss.
Feels like alignment and bliss and eagerness. And in this dream, do you want to look out and see anything? And what do you see? Vistas, hardly anything. Grass is blowing. Maybe a critter over there and a critter over there.
Lots of critters.
And so as you just stay with that for a little bit, as you let that vision just bliss you out and not try to turn it into anything productive, but just enjoy the feeling of that, now you are out ahead of that. Now you own that vibration. And that vibration will lead to another thought of non-resistance and another thought of non-resistance and another thought of non-resistance. So you might do that every day for a while until in that non-resistant state, something is offered to you that just feels familiar like that feels. Your practical mind isn't saying, where actually is it? Or how many square feet is it? Or how many vehicles can I park there? Or how long does it take to get there? Or where are the roads and are the roads open? Or how much does it cost? Because all of that is irrelevant, because under that blissed out state, nothing would come to you that goes crosswise in any way from what's in your vortex or what is a probability. Do you follow this? If you can trust that, the easiest thought, which was the one of nature and really nothing else, if you can trust that that thought is enough because of the vibration that it produces within you, and so you are out ahead of it with your vibration, that out ahead of it vibration will bring all of the other details, and you will recognize them when you see them. Can you hear that? But if you try to find them before they just come to you, if you try to find them from the place of not knowing where they are, then you get crossways of it, and then it gets hard again, and then it slows everything down. Following?
You sound just like my wife. So there lies the problem.
Oh, let's not nightmare.
You know,
even if it's for fun. Let's not even do it a little bit, not even for fun.
Yeah, it's not a problem. But my question is about the practicability. It's like
we just led you on the most impractical journey that will bring you everything that you want.
Yeah.
The most impractical journey that will bring you everything that you want.
Okay.
And when you become like Esther and want to make it practical, that's when you start mucking it up, and then you got to get over that again. So we're just asking you, which is easier, to find a problem and fix it, or to start in a place of no problem? Which is easier? And do you believe that you can start in a place of no problem? You really can. You really can. Your vortex is so magnificent, and your inner being and all of us are all over it, and we've seen it and experienced it, and we know it, but you can't know what we know completely because we've been non-resistant for so long that we can see the exact, precise path of least resistance that you will follow. But if we told you even a little bit of it, you'd get off on a wild goose chase. If we told you that you can be or do or have anything that you want, money would come into your mind and you would kill the dream. If we told you that the perfect place has already picked you out and that your inner being will guide you right to it, not in the fastest way, but in the most satisfying way,